Good afternoon. Today in Strategic News, we are going to talk about Elon Musk and Twitter. First, it's important to know some things about the CEO of Tesla, Elon. He is a businessman who founded Zip2 Corporation, XCOM, SpaceX, and Tesla Motors. In January 2021, Musk reportedly surpassed Jeff Bezos as the wealthiest man in the world. After that, we can start with the news that has been making the rounds around the world. Musk's interest in buying Twitter Inc. The app, founded in 2006, has been up and down in its shares since the CEO's speeches began. The first of them was when it conducted surveys on March 24 and 25 about open algorithms and free speech policies. Since that time, positive and negative reviews have come along with purchase intentions. Some experts believe that opening up the algorithms would not bring about a big change, while others, such as Cambridge researcher Jennifer Koff, argue that this could bring security issues rather than bring transparency to the social network. Just 9 days after the surprise, the announcement of Musk's purchase of 9.2% of shares leaks out, becoming the largest shareholder and causing the stock to rise 20% per share on the New York Stock Exchange. After this, at the end of April, Musk offered the full purchase of Twitter for $44 billion, a figure that the company accepted after 3 days of negotiation. But since last Friday, May 17, the purchase decision has been frozen. Elon justifies that until they prove that there are less than 5% of fake accounts, the negotiation could be cancelled, or in another scenario, the value offered would be much lower. This uncertainty is considered by many to be a strategy to decrease the purchase value and has caused the stock to plummet over the past week. In any case, if there is one thing we can be sure of, it is that Elon Musk's influence is very strong in the capital markets. But for now, we will continue with the expansion of the news with reporter Stephanie Mejia.
Good afternoon. Following with our newscast, let's explain a little about the build the tiers of the Twitter topics. Aerospace, the Elon Musk Aerospace, the manufacturer and the Elon now as the business tycoon, investor and the philanthropist and the director of Tesla. What is now interesting about Twitter has the several points of the way they want this social New York in the positions. One is on the Mike Twitter a definitive tool for the free speech with on more than one occasions he's criticized the Twitter for the being able that has is potential all for the free speech. Okay, escalation pace. Elon Musk president of the ball the company for the $2,000 million, but dies later everything changed. Has decided to the stop and to purge unintentional Twitter back up is claimed that the 5% of the occasion are the fake or Spain occasion. Elon Musk and Al Arsus that they held with bad and the or Twitter's but the of Donald Trump with the claims that the definitions and suspension of the front president was but a moral decision and explainly a versus. Okay, and Chris Space at the Elon Musk canceled the portions of the Twitter that at the take the profiles and the social network, which existently 20%, and so decided to take a pause to the negotiation. The escalations passed the Twitter and began the words and the CEO, and they shows how they are point on the agglomerate determine the number of the occasion with they will the present Elon Musk in the urgent continuing test negotiations. Dialogue Pace and the CEO of the Twitter says they will demonstrate that the 20% are the not fake occasions. And that turns demonstrate to Elon Musk how they performed the producers of a statistic, thus a logic, and they continue with the agreement.
Welcome to the last part of our news. It is called process of negotiation, according to Alan Shoemaker. Our negotiation case is going to be divided into three parts. The beginning game. First, it is necessary to create the right environment. Here, Elon Musk decided to launch a takeover bid a week before the world would know he was a shareholder of the social network Twitter. In the second step, Shoemaker says that we should communicate our position. As a result of that, Musk showed his interest to be part of the company, taking into account that he has been an active user of the social network with more than 84 million of followers. And third, he must ascertain the position of the counterparty. Therefore, the CEO of Tesla contacted Jack Dorsey, who is the co-founder of Twitter, on March 26th to dialogue about the future of social media and the benefits of having open protocols. The same day, Musk contacted Egon Durban, a Twitter advisor, and discussed with him about joining the company's board of directors. He and the other members of the board, including the CEO, Parag Agrawal, decided to consider the request. The middle game. In this part of the negotiation, Elon Musk developed different actions to create and keep the momentum. On March 21st, he explained his options of belonging to the Twitter board and eventually delisting the company from the stock exchange. Those possibilities were discussed at another important meeting on April 3rd, where the Nominating and Corporate Governance Committee, with other executives, decided to invite the CEO of Tesla to be part of the board, with the condition of a standstill clause, limiting his public statements regarding Twitter. Elon decided that he won't limit his public comments about the firm, and on April 4th, he purchased indirectly 9.2% of the social network, becoming the largest shareholder. And in that way, it stated an agreement to limit the ownership of Twitter to 14.9%. Finally, on April 9th, Musk decided not to be on the board. In contrast, he presented an offer to buy all the company in $44,000 million and remove it from the stock exchange. The endgame. Musk's proposal was studied by Twitter's top management. On April 21st, he announced a new proposal of $46,500 million, and Twitter advisors reached the conclusion that Musk was the better choice. 3 days later, the CEO of Tesla stated his intention of a negotiated agreement in contrast of a hostile takeover bid. Therefore, the next day, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan financial advisors of the company, Twitter, and the Twitter board approved the offer and announced the agreement. However, merger slows down on May 5th owing to Elon Musk receiving information about a large amount of fake accounts. He is going to analyze the number given by Twitter of that fake accounts, and as a result of it, the agreement could be broken out, renegotiated, or he would leave it, giving an indemnity of $1,000 million.